Across the country, ideologues who deny the biological reality of sex have increasingly used legal and other socially coercive means to permit men to self-identify as women and gain access to intimate single-sex spaces and activities designed for women, from women's domestic abuse shelters to women's workplace showers. This is wrong. Efforts to eradicate the biological reality of sex fundamentally attack women by depriving them of their dignity, safety, and well-being. The erasure of sex in language and policy has a corrosive impact not just on women, but on the validity of the entire American system. Basing federal policy on truth is critical to scientific inquiry, public safety, morale, and trust in government itself. This unhealthy road is paved by an ongoing and purposeful attack against the ordinary and long-standing use and understanding of biological and scientific terms, replacing the immutable biological reality of sex with an internal, fluid, and subjective sense of self, unmoored from biological facts. Invalidating the true and biological category of woman improperly transforms laws and policies designed to protect sex-based opportunities into laws and policies that undermine them, replacing long-standing cherished legal rights and values with an identity-based, inchoate social concept. Accordingly, my administration will defend women's rights and protect freedom of conscience by using clear and accurate language and policies that recognize women are biologically female and men are biologically male. It is the policy of the United States to recognize two sexes, male and female. These sexes are not changeable and are grounded in fundamental and incontrovertible reality. Under my direction, the executive branch will enforce all sex-protective laws to promote this reality, and the following definitions shall govern all executive interpretation of and application of federal law and administration policy. A. Sex shall refer to an individual's immutable biological classification as either male or female. Sex is not a synonym for and does not include the concept of gender identity. B. Women or woman and girls or girl shall mean adult and juvenile human females, respectively. C. Men or man and boys or boy shall mean adult and juvenile human males, respectively. D. Female means a person belonging, at conception, to the sex that produces the large reproductive cell. E. Male means a person belonging, at conception, to the sex that produces the small reproductive cell. F. Gender ideology replaces the biological category of sex with an ever-shifting concept of self-assessed gender identity, permitting the false claim that males can identify as and thus become women and vice versa, and requiring all institutions of society to regard this false claim as true. Gender ideology includes the idea that there is a vast spectrum of genders that are disconnected from one's sex. Gender ideology is internally inconsistent in that it diminishes sex as an identifiable or useful category, but nevertheless maintains that it is possible for a person to be born in the wrong-sexed body. G. Gender identity reflects a fully internal and subjective sense of self, disconnected from biological reality and sex, and existing on an infinite continuum that does not provide a meaningful basis for identification and cannot be recognized as a replacement for sex. The Attorney General and Secretary of Homeland Security shall ensure that males are not detained in women's prisons or housed in women's detention centres, including through amendment, as necessary, of Part 115.41 of Title 28, Code of Federal Regulations and Interpretation Guidance regarding the Americans with Disabilities Act. The Secretary of Housing and Urban Development shall prepare and submit for notice and comment rule. Making a policy to rescind the final rule entitled Equal Access in Accordance with an Individual's Gender Identity in Community Planning and Development Programs of September 21st, 2016, 81 Federal Register, 64763, and shall submit for public comment a policy protecting women seeking single-sex rape shelters. The Attorney General shall ensure that the Bureau of Prisons revises its policies concerning medical care to be consistent with this order, and shall ensure that no federal funds are expended for any medical procedure, treatment, or drug for the purpose of conforming an inmate's appearance to that of the opposite sex. Agencies shall effectuate this policy by taking appropriate action to ensure that intimate spaces designated for women, girls, or females, or for men, boys, or males, are designated by sex and not identity,